Hello y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am feeling great. I did not post on Friday because I got one of my goals accomplished, and after I got it accomplished I was a bit burnt out, so I didn't have the energy nor the time to do it. But we're back onto schedule because consistency is the key, and I am, even if I have to fall off for a day, I'm gonna get back on that train and keep it moving. Because normal Shay would, be derailed completely. He'd be like, oh my gosh, I missed one. But no, we're getting right back on it. So, today is commentary day. So I got a few topics that I want to talk about. And like I said, with this commentary thing, it's not gonna be it's not like a tea page where we talk about the, I guess, most popular things about celebrities and stuff. You'll get that if it interests me, but it's really stuff that I've seen over the past 2 weeks that have piqued my interest. So that's what we're doing. But before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends, your family, because we are on the road to 1K here. Okay, that's all I want for the year. That's all I want for 2022 is for this channel here to get to 1K. First topic that I thought to get up on is I actually ended up finding the TikTok of that mom that I posted in the last video, and it was basically where the mom was crying, and she had congestive heart failure, and she was crying about how her 16-year-old daughter wouldn't help her with the bills, and basically saying that parents need to teach their kids to pay bills, because when they get out into the real world, they gonna have to pay bills, and it's, whatever. So I actually found her TikTok page a few days ago, and I could see the updates from there. So I first want to clarify, because like I said in the video, I got really upset because in the comments of the video that I seen, which I think it was on Instagram that I originally seen, there was a whole bunch of women in the comments basically saying that the girl, she, to be able to afford the things that the mom said that she was buying, it had to mean that she was sleeping around with some man. And in getting the update, it turns out, like I said, that the little girl she's actually a hairstylist. So that's how she's able to bring in money like that. And also it was clarified that the bill that the mom was trying to get the daughter to pay was her phone bill. So I think she said her phone bill was $98. So she was trying to get her daughter to pay her phone bill, which I think is perfectly fair. Because for one, a phone is not a necessity. It's a pleasure. And I know since we're in the digital age, it seems like you absolutely cannot live without a cell phone, but it's not true. Especially people in my age bracket, I'm 26. I remember not having a phone. I know now, my little nieces and stuff, they be getting, my 6-year-old nephew has a phone. My 8-year-old niece has a phone. My 5-year-old niece, she has a tablet, and she's been having a tablet since she was 3, 4. So to their age bracket, it may seem like a necessity, but I know I didn't get my first phone until I was 10, which is still young in comparison, because most of my friends didn't get a phone until we were in middle school. But I say all that to say, it's not a necessity. So that's something that I think if a parent is going to teach a kid to, be more responsible, a bill that is theirs, and something as small as a cell phone, which, cell phone bills can be anywhere from $40 all the way to $100, $120, depending upon, who you got and what kind of phone you got. But I think that's reasonable enough, especially if she's making, the money that she's making. I think it's very reasonable to be okay, you can handle this bill. I think, like I said, my whole issue with the whole thing is don't try to teach your kids lessons out of desperation. If you wanted to teach your kid to be responsible, there was plenty of time and opportunity to do that without it being, in desperation. Okay, something else that piqued my interest is the whole, I think this like happened like today or maybe yesterday, but this whole like debate. I feel like once every couple years we have like somebody trying to clown Bow Wow. And like I get it to a certain extent because Bow Wow is like, to me, he is very corny. But like he can be corny, like Soulja Boy is corny too, but like they can be corny, but you still can't really like knock them for the things that they did. And it was like this meme that was like name, if somebody had to name 3 songs and or they was gonna shoot you, like nobody would be able to name 3 Bow Wow songs. And I feel like that's not true because I can name 3 Bow Wow songs like off the top of my head, like right now. Fresh as I'm is, Like You, and Basketball. Just, and I actually like his the album where he did, what was it? Is it Wanted? The album where he had like Out of My System, played that to death. The album that he did with him and Omarion, played that to death. And even when I was like a little kid, like him and like the Lil Romeo rivalry, like I was on Bow Wow side of that rivalry, and I listened to Bow Wow music. So it's just like I can understand like maybe the younger kids who like he hasn't put out any music in the time that they've been alive. I guess I can understand that. But even to that point, like the idea of like somebody being washed up, like I just personally don't like that type of vibe because like we all grow and get older, and you know, something that maybe was in before and is out now, like trends are trends. Like it's all, you come in, you go out, but that doesn't mean, I feel like people be real like mean and disrespectful, and it's just like I don't know. I just don't like that, you know, you washed, you fell off kind of like commentary. I don't like that. Nobody take away the fact that Bow Wow, like when he was doing his thing, like he was doing his thing on the music front, on the acting front. Like you can't take that away from the guy. So like stop. Like let that man live. The same thing like with Big Draco. Like, you know, his like the stuff he be doing now is corny. And I mean, I like to laugh at his antics, but like, you can't take away from Soulja Boy that like he was like one of the first to be out here, you know, getting like real recognition and building up his own platform off of the internet. Like, you can't take that away from that man. So this is gonna take a whole different shift, but my sister has decided to partner with this company. It's called the Lesbi Spot. So shout out to my sister and to the Lesbi Spot. And I'm a person who likes to support, you know, women, Black women. So of course, like anything my sister does, like I am one of the first to support it. So they did like a little soft opening where they were only open for like 12 hours. And I purchased the Rose toy, but mine is black, which I was really excited about. Like, it's so aesthetic. It's like a little matte, little black, little toy. And I personally, I have like some sex toys, but I have never had like anything that vibrate or anything like that. I'm not gonna tell you what I actually, you know, be buying, but yeah, I've never had like a vibrator or anything like that. So it was a totally new response. And then I know that, you know, the Rose toy has been super popular. Everybody been giving it rave reviews. And I'm gonna just say, like, for me, I know some like women's anatomy don't agree with it. So I feel y'all, but like, I was appalled at the fact that like, I did not last more than 2 minutes. Like I was just like, hold the front door. Wait a minute. And I had, I'm trying to think of a PG way to say this. I had a projectile response if you get what I'm trying to say. And I was just like, it ain't never, well, it has happened to me once with my favorite guy. But outside of that, like, I ain't got no experience with that. So I was just like, oh. But I will say, I probably won't be the person who actually gets on like the vibrator movement, just because like I like a slow buildup. Like I don't like to, you know, reach completion multiple times, because I'm a person that I need some downtime in between. Like it kind of messes with me to like immediately like keep going and going and going. It starts to like affect me. So I will say that. But for my experience and for my anatomy, like the rose toy lived up to his hype. So do with that what you will. And like I said, the company that I bought mine from is the Lesbi Spot. So you can go on www.lesbispot.com. Okay, something else that has garnered my attention is like it's two different rappers. So there's Lil Durk and then there's NBA Youngboy, but it's like the same type of feeling with both of them. So there is Lil Durk with the baby that like is allegedly his, and that baby is, you know, younger than who we thought to be the youngest of his children, which is who, you know, little baby Willow with his fiance India. But there's another baby that's with another woman. And then there, on the flip side, there is NBA Youngboy. And I can't even keep up with how many baby mamas he got at this point and how many children. Because I feel like in 2020 and 2021, like he was just out here just wilding. Like it was like, you get a baby, you get a baby, you get a baby. Everybody gets a baby. And I, like, it's too much. But like it's been like a whole bunch of drama of like him and the baby mama. Well, the first thing I saw on my Instagram feed was about that particular baby mama basically saying how she works because she wants to be able to provide something for her son, even if like the dad is who he is. Like she still wants to be able to provide for her kid. And I was like, okay, that's cool, that's commendable. I like that, because, you know, I feel like there's only so much, like I understand like the first, the second, the third, maybe even the fourth woman getting pregnant by a rapper that's, you know, doing okay in the career. But once you get to like the 11th, I just feel like there's not that many dividends to split at this point. And then like you like are intentionally setting yourself up to be a single mother, because like, I mean, if you know, guy, like, first of all, if he's a rapper or a basketball player or however, you know, we get that, like, first of all, like, he gotta go to work and he be away a lot, so there's that. But then if he does get some downtime, like, how do you split your time between, you know, 10, 11, 12 children? Like, how you do that? Especially if, like, what if all the baby mamas don't get along? So now, like, this kid can't be around this kid because they mamas don't get along. Like, it's a whole lot to process. And even still, like, when you got 11 kids in the house, like, you can't talk to them all at once. Like, you can't experience them all at once. Especially if you got, like, 6 babies. Like, how you do that? You don't do that. So I don't understand the logic behind that. And like NBA Youngboy and Lil Durk happen to be like 2 men who have like a lot of kids, a lot of baby mamas. NBA Youngboy got Durk beat by a whole lot, but it's just an interesting thing. And then of course, like, I had included in the segment last week, it was one of the topics that ended up getting cut, but it was like how I was talking about, what I was talking about was basically like, I like Durk and India as a couple. I think they're really cute. Like, I see their stuff and it makes me smile, but like, it's in terms of like thinking of them as relationship goals, which I don't believe in that type of thing anyways. It don't really, like, the math ain't really mathing for me. Cause like, I say, especially if like people say they want like that Durk and India love, or however you interchange that, it's just like, if you think about it, especially if wanting to like date, if it's a woman who's wanting to date somebody that's like Durk, and like, it's like, well, he's an example that, you know, you can date somebody like him and still, you know, get married and still have him love you and all this good stuff. Okay, but I feel like in making those types of decisions in a strategic way, at least, I just feel like him having somewhat of a successful situation with India is not like the thing that you should go by. You should see all the women, at least at this point, his children's mothers, that like those situations have failed. I feel like that says more about what a relationship with him is going to end up as, versus like this one isolated situation where he seems to have a good relationship with him in India. And then, like I said, that ended up getting cut out of last week's situation that well, not last week's, but a couple weeks ago when I did the thing. And now we've gotten 2 weeks in advance, and we have a woman coming out with a baby that would have been conceived and born in the time that they were together. And it's just like, way to shit on the engagement. Like, geez. If it's true, you know? I don't know if it's true. I really don't care if it's true. But if it is, like, that's a mess. And it makes you wonder, like, how much do you have to deal with to have like these types of things, which is why, like I said, I don't believe in goals. Like, I have like couples that I think are so cute and I like to see them together, but like, don't really get invested in people's personal lives. Like, it's cute to see people have cute moments, but I also know, I've been in enough relationships to know that like, we can cuss each other out and then take a beautiful photo. So, you know, that's that. But then I guess that kind of segues into like one of the things that I have been thinking about over the last few days. And it kind of gets on the topic of nature and nurture, but it's more so like on an emotional standpoint and in relationships. So I have been dating this guy for a few months, and we've known each other for over a decade now. We dated when we were in high school, and we ended up breaking up by the time we finished high school, and we went our separate ways. Like, we didn't have contact with each other for a number of years, and just recently we decided to like start kicking it again. And I mean, it's been a real like lovely situation for the most part, but in these last like couple months, like, we've been having some issues around like communication on both of our ends. I kind of feel like, you know, I don't like his communication style. And he don't like mine either, because like, he's really like indirect, I feel, and I'm very just like to the point. But that really don't have, it has something to do with what I want to talk about, but not too much to what I want to talk about. But we recently got into a bit of a tiff. Well, not a bit of a tiff. We got into a whole tiff. Like, I was mad, and then I said a whole plethora of things. And then he got mad at me. So it was a whole lot. Thankfully, we've calmed down since then. But I'm a person that really reflects on things, and I'm an overthinker. So I be, you know, going down like the list of like, how did we get here? But one of the things that I like came to think about is one of the things that he said that kind of I couldn't argue with him about was that I have the tendency to, when something negative happens, like I have the tendency to like attack full blown, and when things are going good, I don't really have much to say about it. And it's like he was saying, like, you know, that don't really give him the space or even the want to like make things nice for me, because like I just be on him about the negative shit. And like I said, it was a point that like I hadn't really thought too much of. Like I have felt righteous whenever my anger is there, or whenever I don't like something. I felt righteous in being like, you need to do this, 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 and that to, you know, get away from my anger. But actually him like saying that to me, like it gave me a chance to reflect, and it's like, damn, I do that. And of course that sent me down the rabbit hole of like, where do I get that from? And now I'm gonna go ahead and put this disclaimer in here just in case, you know, she watches it, somebody else watches it. Like, I feel like when it comes down to like habits, and of course where they're formed from, usually they come from, you know, your parents or whoever raised you. You know, your formative years are called your formative years for a reason. It's the years that form you into essentially the person that, you know, you go off to be. And this ain't no shade, because I was very loved, I am very loved, but of course, like, there are good habits and there are bad habits. And I feel like one of the issues that I personally have, like I said, I spent a lot of time around my grandma. That is my girl. Like, one of the issues that I have kind of held on to as I've gotten older is like, I feel like my grandma is like very harsh, and like she's hard to please, and it's like you can never do anything right. And like when she comes down on you, she comes down hard. But like the niceties, like she's not really affectionate. There's not a plethora of I love yous, I'm proud of yous, things of that nature. Like there's not a lot of those. But when you do something that she don't like you gonna hear about it. And I never connected that until, you know, I had some time to sit down and think about, like, you know, what I was doing to this man, and really reflecting on like, damn, like he's actually right. Like I be doing this. And like I said, in that reflection, I'm like, where did I get that from? Or like, where did I see that? And I was able to connect. Like, that's essentially what my grandma gave to me. And I don't know, like, I know I have said over the years that a lot of the more emotional stuff of my grandma I didn't want to take with me. Like, my grandma is a powerhouse woman, and when it comes to handling her business, like, it gets done. And, you know, she's like the strongest person that I know. And I have always really looked up to her ever since I was a little girl. Like, there was like God and then my grandma. And so, like, of course, getting older and having differences in opinions, and then seeing things in her that I didn't particularly like, didn't particularly want to like put onto myself, like, it's humbling, because like, you literally, like I said, it's God and then my grandma. So like, I had her in this like immortal standpoint, and to see like her humanness, or her humanity, there we go, seeing her humanity is just like, you know, like, yes, she's been like a hero, a shero in my eyes, but she's also, you know, just a woman. And, you know, she's also been, you know, a young woman. She's been a child. Like, you know, it puts things into perspective as I've grown older. And, you know, I'm learning that I have to in wanting grace for myself, like I found with that conversation with him, because he was just basically like, you know, if this is what it's gonna be, like I don't want to do this. And of course, like I had to kind of humble myself and like, is this something you want? And if this is what you want, like you have to, in order to keep this situation going, you have to be willing to make some shifts. And I decided that this is a situation that I want to keep going, so I do have to make some shifts. And I realized, like, in that, like, it's gonna require me to give myself some grace, as well as him to give me some grace. And it's like, if I want grace from him, like I gotta also extend that elsewhere. And I feel like, especially in these last few years, I've made some very like harsh judgments about like some of the things about my grandma that I don't like. And I'm realizing now, like, being in this situation, that I have to extend grace. So, you know, that was my work for the week. And I mean, it don't feel good. Like, I didn't feel like he was like attacking me or anything. Definitely not that. But like I said, it's something that I never really particularly thought about. And he's not the type to like he's really focused in on like garnering a positive experience from each other. So he don't really harp on the things that I don't like. And he tries to accommodate me however he can. And like when he's accommodating, like it's that thing of like when he's accommodating me, all the times that he's accommodating me, I like thank you, but like it's not a verbal thank you. It's not a like, I appreciate you showing up for me this way, and like I'm telling you and I'm showing you that I'm appreciative. It's just like, oh, okay. But as soon as something happens that I don't like, it's curtains for the whole thing. Like, now I'm gonna tell you how you got me messed up and how you need to not have me messed up again. And like for months, like I've been able to just run off with that. But I also have seen how he has been like more resistant and more like pulling away, but not really saying like the reason why. And so now that we've got to the reason why, like I said, you want somebody to be in your life, you know, you make adjustments. So here I am at my big age adjusting. But yeah, so I don't know. That was just something that I reflected on, that I didn't realize that the one thing that really tears my nerves up about my grandma, like I do the exact same thing. And I just wonder like how many times that I've been totally like oblivious and unaware that I've been like inflicting some of that same just like trauma on somebody else. Like, it makes me feel kind of so yeah. I think we gonna end on that note. I appreciate you guys for watching me. If you did, I would definitely love, like, I love discussions. I love dialogue. I even like to argue too. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I can take an argument or two every now and then. So like if you have an opinion on something that I've said, if you wanted to add, if you want to subtract, like please meet me in the comments. I am there. And yeah, that's it. So thank you. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your mom, share with your dad, share with your best friend, share with your baby dad. Like share, because the more you share, the more somebody's gonna care. Like, that's what we doing in 2022. So I will see you guys in the next video. Friday, I think we're doing Aquarius nails. Don't quote me though. But yeah, I think we're gonna show some love to the Aquarius. And I got a lot of love for the Aquarius. I know I said this for Capricorns, but like my mom is an Aquarius, and like we like this. So yeah, see you next video. Bye.